Today on our show,
one of us saw the new Planet of the Apes movie. Guess which one? Find out on this week's Fat Man on Batman. Welcome to Fat Man on Batman. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Marc Bernardin.
Did you figure it out yet?
Who saw War for the Planet of the Apes? I saw War for the Planet of the Apes.
Mark saw it. How'd you see it? You're out the fucking newspaper business. How'd you see it?
I am out of the newspaper. I'm out of the press business in the same way that Obama is out of the politics business, which is not really at all, but still has friends in the business.
So we'll see pictures of you like fucking hang gliding and
totally,
like
just
that.
like showing up
Parasailing.
without a tie places, like just looking like the ex-boyfriend that you're like, wow, he looks really good. What's he up to?
I saw a picture recently of him holding somebody's baby.
Yeah.
Even that was just like, come back. Whatever.
Just like he's the ex-president who still gets invited to the fucking Buckingham Palace because they really like him. Like,
nice guy.
Prince Harry wants to chat.
All right, so
yes, I did.
You know people.
I know a couple people. I asked a person or two.
You sought to get into it?
I sought to get into it because I like these Planet of the Apes films. I like this prequel trilogy, and not to spoil anything, but this is probably a trilogy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, now you made me actually want to go see it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a spoiler. But these three films, starting with Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes, which was James Franco creating the Planet of the Apes with his brilliance and beauty. I mean, he's a pretty man.
Right, with him.
I like that. Didn't he name Caesar, and Caesar was his buddy?
His
and
father.
the window.
His father named Caesar. His father
looked
played
out the
by
window.
John Lithgow, who had Alzheimer's, and the drug was supposed to be a cure for Alzheimer's. It was recreating.
You were paying attention.
I totally was. It was recreating the neural pathways in the brain so that you could heal parts of the human brain that had atrophied thanks to Alzheimer's. But in a simian brain, it would impart intelligence. It would forge new pathways in addition to the ones that were already working.
Including speech.
And
deductive reasoning, plotting.
Strategy.
Strategy.
Yes. And so the chimp who was born as Caesar, his mother was treated with this drug, was an original test patient.
Didn't he at one point he opens the gas and they're all like, and that made him smart?
Yeah, because Caesar's the first one. And it's a wonderful little story. He's super freaking smart, and James Franco adopts him because all of the chimps in this research facility are going to get exterminated because it's a bad batch. We're starting over. Takes Caesar home, raises Caesar, teaches him sign language, makes him part of his house, and then Caesar, who's ultimately like a 4-year-old kid, is violent towards a neighbor. They put him in prison.
He gets out the house.
Yeah, he gets out the house and attacks a neighbor for
And I remember James Franco brings him to that place.
Yeah, run by Brian Cox and Malfoy.
And yes, Draco Malfoy, of course. And yes, and he was sad, and he drew the window that he always looked out on the wall and shit. Did Matt Reeves do that one? No,
Rupert Wyatt did that.
Rupert Wyatt did that. Matt Reeves did the
2
second
and 3.
one and the third one.
Yeah.
And the second one was something like I know a lot of people were like, I love it. I love the original Planet of the Apes movies. Part of my fucking DNA, man. And they still hold up today. I don't care what anybody says. Maybe not to the effect of a CG, but you think about it. Roddy McDowall did all that with rubber on his face.
With lips that didn't move.
You remember that. And it was compelling. So I love the movies. And I love that these movies tie into those movies. But particularly, I like that Franco one quite a bit. The last one I liked, but I wasn't as crazy about it. I don't even remember it. I remember there's a dam. They're like, we gotta get the dam going. And it had the guy who was also in the Terminator playing John Connor.
Yeah, Jason Clarke.
Yes. That's what I remember.
Yeah. I mean
at one point there's a fight on the bridge, right? With the gorillas.
Yeah.
Fighting jumping out of a helicopter and shit.
No, that's the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the first one?
The first one is when they're escaping across the Golden Gate Bridge.
That happened at the end of the fucking first movie?
Yeah. First movie is basically it's a prison break out of San Francisco. And
they all head to the California woods.
They all head to the redwoods.
That's right. That's right. And I remember going to the end of the movie, I was like, well, it's not so much a Planet of the Apes as it is a forest of the apes. But then they show that cool credit sequence
Right.
where you see how
You see the simian flu, as they call it,
Yes.
just arcing its way through.
and not only is it making apes smarter, but it's killing people.
it kills humans unless you.
Smart. And they did that in that's a whole movie.
That is a post-credit scene.
And
That's,
they're like, by the way, if you're still watching the credits, here's an amazing story in and of itself.
By the way, we're killing humanity in the credits. Should we do it on camera? Should we do it on the stage?
Like, we've done enough. We gave him James Franco, who was both smart and pretty. And he had touching moments with Caesar. And Caesar grew. And, of course, Caesar was played by the great
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis. Our modern-day Robert De Niro, if Robert De Niro wore green and never looked like Robert De Niro.
It's like a modern-day Lon Chaney if there was actually digital effects.
That's probably a better. There you go. That's good. Yeah, you're right. He is a modern-day Lon Chaney.
They give you that.
Fucking call it. Did anybody ever say that before?
I'm not sure.
Copyright fucking Marc Bernardin.
We said it here.
And a little bit on Kev. That's pretty
Give
fucking
us our
sweet.
monies.
That's an excellent analogy right there.
So the second movie it takes place 8 years after the first one.
And they got to start the dam. And he's got a kid.
Well, yeah, I mean, Caesar has built a little monkey kingdom off there in the California Redwoods.
Where's the one where he fights the Scar guy?
That's the second one. And the second
Where
one,
he's like, you're too soft on shit.
the second one I love.
War.
Because,
Oh, you do love it.
I do love the second one. I think the second one is the best of the three.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, because Gary Oldman is playing this human guy who's leading the last remnants of humanity in San Francisco. They just want to build civilization back. They just want to claw back into the world, and they need the power from a dam that is located in the middle of Caesar's fiefdom. And
Ape territory.
Ape territory. So they send Jason Clarke and Kerry Russell and a couple of other guys.
She was in that movie?
She's in that movie.
I gotta watch this again. I don't even remember that. With a gun in my head, if somebody was like, "What'd you think of Kerry Russell in the second Planet of the Apes remake?" I'd be like, "Well, first off, it's not a remake; it's kind of technically a prequel." But second off,
Felicity
she was
was
in that. The last thought that would go through my head before the bullet was baffling mystery as to the fact that Felicity was in fucking Planet of the Apes too. I didn't remember that. And that's not to say she's not a good actress. I don't remember much about that movie except they were going to a dam. And the whole time I was like, get there, Godot. Fuck. But you like that one.
I like it because the villain in that movie is Caesar's best friend. And, Koba, who
That's it.
they
They
were
fight in the air.
They fight in the air. So they absolutely were like buddies in the prison system.
Koba's mad because
mad because
He's
Caesar
soft on
is not
crime.
extreme enough.
Yeah, he's soft
is that
on
they both want the same thing. They both want to protect the apes. But Caesar wants to do it through a path of accommodation and compromise and acceptance.
and Koba's like,
And
kill
Koba's
the
like,
humans.
let's get guns. And so
The only good human is a dead human. That's from the classic
it absolutely
Planet of the
is.
Apes series.
But it's the origin of a villain out of brotherhood, out of a shared sense of desire, but a fractured sense of purpose.
Name another story like that.
Star Wars.
Oh, fucking! God damn it, you're so smart. Ben Kenobi and
Anakin
Anakin
Skywalker.
Skywalker. Excellent poll. Yeah, you're right. You are my brother, Anakin. But
You
I
are
cut your
supposed to
fucking
bring
legs off anyway.
Balance to the force, not destroy it.
Burn, you legless fuck. Burn.
Look at all the fucks I don't give Anakin. Look at them.
I could help you, Anakin, but I won't.
Because you're a dick, Anakin.
I'm getting on the plane with your lady and fuck this noise. Burn, Anakin, burn.
You killed all the
Burn.
younglings, Anakin.
Burn. Yeah, and that's why it was justified.
Yes.
I mean, what happened? I'm trying to remember my Star Wars. Because I remember he's like, I have the upper ground. And he's like, no, I hate your guts. And he flips over him and he cuts his fucking legs off. You're like, what? But then does his arms come off as well?
Yeah. Like he cuts the legs off and the arms off, and so he's just fucking like.
Does he cut the arms off?
Yeah, he's
Oh, both. So he loses both arms and legs
He's-
in one hit?
he goes from-
He's like the brave little Taylor, 7 in one blow. He takes out 4 with
he
one
goes
swing.
from plegic to quadriplegic.
That's crazy.
In Whamang.
That is nuts, man. And even at that point, and I remember he's like, I hate you, while he's burning and shit. But why does Ben Kenobi offer to help him, or is he just like, that's what you get?
I think there's a little bit of fuck you, Anakin. Like
He's like, sorry, Anakin, but you forced the issue. Ben Kenobi out.
Drop the mic. Oh, it's a lightsaber. Pick it up.
You think I'd
I'm going to give this
more.
to your kid.
But I that is a weird scene. Anyway, fuck
Yeah.
that. We still have to talk about Planet of the Apes 3. So you
Planet of the
like
Apes
Planet
3.
of the Apes 2 because
I liked it quite a bit because the villain story
reminds
is
you of
intrinsically tied to the hero
Hayden
story.
Christensen's
And it's
Anakin Skywalker.
the grand tragedy of my youth is the Star Wars movies.
Fair enough. Also out of the Bible, right?
Yes.
Fucking Moses and Mazzola.
Is Mazzola corn?
Yeah.
Indians
Your people
call it
call it
maize.
corn. My people call it maize. That was a commercial from our childhood. Yes. I believe. Oh, sorry. So I almost took your finger off. I believe that Charlton Heston has that fucking beat in Ten Commandments.
Yes.
Like they're brothers and then fucking.
Totally. It's
Oh, no.
Ramses.
Mazzola's Ben-Hur. That's
Yes.
what I was talking about. But
Ramses
they also
and
play,
Moses.
but it's Ramses and Moses.
Yes, brothers
Just
raised
mixing up
under
my
the same
religious
house
film.
who have different paths towards divine enlightenment.
Maybe I'm smoking too much weed. I can't separate Ben-Hur from Ten Commandments, and I forgot the other fucking thing. Which
There it is.
I
you
think
guys.
that may be proof. Oh, Star Wars. I forgot
Star
what
Wars.
literally happened to his arms and legs, but I guess you guys are right. He took them both off. It's kind of fucking metal the more you think about it. Everyone really fucking jumped on his dick, but he's like, show me another Star Wars movie where a motherfucker takes off 2 legs and 2 arms at once.
You are my brother Anakin.
Hi ho, this is George the Lucas.
Kermit George is back.
That is kind of fucking metal, man. He took off his limbs and then he fucking left them there to burn.
I would give you a hand, Anakin, but you don't have any left.
Yeah. Late.
Burn, bitch.
I'm going to the desert for the rest of my life, but it is going to be worth it to watch this shit. Oh my God, I'll be talking about this for the next 30 years.
By the way, I'm going to raise your son for you
Yeah,
and
but
tell him you were a dick.
I won't tell him about this shit. I'll say you were a great pilot or something like that,
will
which
say-
you were for a pod race once, I guess.
We'll say that a Jedi named Darth Vader turned on him and killed him and left him burning by the side of a lake of lava.
He became Darth Vader, though, right after that, right?
Yeah.
So I guess, like, Ben Kenobi was being metaphorical.
You know, it's all a matter of perspective, Kevin.
Yeah. You ever see that YouTube video where they show him, like, Alec Guinness talk about, like, you know how people make those videos and shit and then put a romantic song in them and stuff? They did one of those, but they showed him, like, there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. And they flashed back to the movie and says,
Love story.
tastefully done. Not the love story, but just the, like, oh, he was talking about this shit, but, like, here was the real truth and here's how he hit it. It's very well done, man. People on the
Layers,
internet are very creative.
So
Said
Planet of the
somebody
Apes.
back in the late 90s. Planet of the Apes, they finally make a third picture.
They make a third picture.
And it's called Battle of the Planet of the Apes.
or war.
Fuck. See, my title is better because that's what the last Apes movie in the last Apes series of movies was called.
Was it Battle and a Conquest?
Conquest was second. So it went Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes,
Right.
Escape from the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, Battle for the Planet of the Apes. But Battle is kind of, Battles, if you know they put documentaries on the old Laserdisc, and if you watched them all like I did, devoured it because I love that shit. Movies went weird back in the day. They'd start with more money, and their sequels would be made for less money as time went on.
$18.
So they had no money for the last one. So, but you know, even so, I remember there's like dune buggies and they're fighting each other, and it's war between humanity and apes. And then at the end, there's like fucking peace. Like there's a really sweet scene where you see the statue of the lawgiver, and you see apes and man together, and they talk about like, you know, and ever since then, apes and man have been friends and shit. So that whole series, if I remember correctly, ends on a note of hope. How does this whole series, if it ended?
This prequel trilogy, and only trilogy, it also ends on a note of hope.
Yeah.
Not a note of hope that implies a harmonious coexistence between humans and apes, because again, this needs to tee up Planet of the Apes.
It's true. That's right.
So this is not.
You know they got to eventually hit the iceberg.
Right. So we're going to get to a point where we're going to start talking about spoilers. We're not there yet. But it's clear that, and it was even clear in the first movie, that this is actually the story of a slave revolt.
Okay.
This is a story of
From the first movie.
From the first movie to this one. It's about creatures that were in captivity, escaping from captivity, sort of trying to form a easy peace with those who had been captors, who refused to see them as humans, refused to see them as beings worthy of either negotiation or compassion. And then this third one is about, we have to get ultimately it's an Exodus story. We have to get to the Promised Land with Caesar as Moses.
Okay. Where's the Promised Land?
The Promised Land is much like in Logan. It is sort of implied as just it's that way. It's where no maps go. It's the Forbidden Zone.
Do they say that?
Ultimately, yes.
They say it's the Forbidden Zone?
Yeah.
You just sold a ticket. Son. You just sold me a ticket. That ties into the others.
Yeah. So we're going to get a little bit into spoilers territory here, but
spoilers. There's a reference to there's a Nova character too, right?
The big push for the humans is that there is a disease that even the people who survived the simian flu, there's now some kind of malady that's sweeping across the human race that robs people of the power of speech.
No.
Yes.
Oh my God! I fucking want to see this movie so bad now.
Yeah. And so, like,
look how quickly I turned around. I'm like, yeah, these Apes movies, but I'm like, wait. This ties into the Apes movies.
This
that
is the
I know
one that
and
I
love.
want. So Nova is this first character that we meet who cannot speak.
She's a little girl.
She's a little girl.
Question.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Mm-hmm. Is that meant to be the Nova that we meet in Planet of the Apes?
I don't believe so, because I think we still have to
go a couple hundred years.
Yeah, like Taylor has yet to come back around into, like, they launched Taylor in the first movie. You see them launch the whatever the name of the fucking shell is. Is it
in
Icarus?
Planet of the Apes?
In
Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes. You see them launch the Icarus drone, and they say it's lost in space. They just mentioned it on the news broadcast.
Oh my God, I'm like, you're making me such a big fan of these movies. I gotta go back and rewatch.
Yeah, and so like Icarus has yet to land back in Earth time.
Right.
So this will not be that Nova, but it's the beginning of the whole thing. And Woody Harrelson plays this military commander who's decided that he will not truck, he will kill every human he encounters who has this disease, lest it be passed on genetically from person to person. So he's this kind of Colonel Kurtzy.
Species genocide.
Yeah.
To keep pure.
He would rather kill those who would ruin and harm the gene pool than allow them to foment, and there be more humans. And so at the end of this movie, it is very much about, once again, the monkeys get put into prison. They've got to break out.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Do this.
Apes. Monkeys have tails.
I do not mean to diminish and degrade our simian brothers.
We lost half of our ape audience who was just like, monkeys?
Monkey is a slur. We don't talk about monkeys.
I got yelled at when we were making mall rats. We kept referring to the ape Tango. No, it wasn't. Tango was the one on Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I forget what the name of the ape was that was at the end of Mallrats. But we kept saying, like, what does the monkey do? Can the monkey do this? And the trainers were like, it's not a monkey. Monkeys have tails. This is a great ape. And I was like, well, opinions vary, but...
Is this Magilla? Is this the name of your great ape?
See in the window, Magilla Gorilla. Take us back to the fucking review. God damn it.
We keep digressing. Anyway, by the end of this movie, the last third of this film is very much like the last third of Logan, in that it is about your hero sort of at the end of his line, who's got one last job, which is to escort his people to the Promised Land. And if you know anything about stories like this, your hero does not get to see the Promised Land.
Yeah, Moses never got to go to the land of milk and honey.
Nope, Moses never gets there. Logan never gets to Eden.
Oh, it's true. You're right.
Caesar never gets. He gets to look, but doesn't get to stride.
Spoilers.
Into the Promised Land. And it absolutely gives a sort of fitting closure to this entire series, is that Caesar the ape who delivered apes from bondage, Caesar the ape who taught them a new way to live, gave them the rules, apes together strong, ape not kill ape, knowledge is power, all of that came from Caesar. Caesar delivers them to the Promised Land, but does not get to enjoy the fruits of his labor. He dies. Spoilers.
Boy, you just put that on Front Street.
I kind of did.
But you know what? I don't care. Can't spoil a movie for me, especially when you sold it so well. Especially when now I know it ties so well into
directly
the series I love.
And so it's.
But also, we had to see that coming.
You have to see it coming.
It was a very Shakespearean arc.
I feel like where this movie sort of falls down in comparison to the other ones is that the first movie has the new. It has
or it's back. And they're tying in, and holy shit, and it looks amazing.
It's giving you the newness of Caesar and the realization of what an ape would look like on the screen in this way. It gives you all those ties into the original. The second one is the Shakespearean brother versus brother. like who's going to come out on top, why we're fighting the villains, all of that stuff.
No,
Family
you're right.
versus-
It's like the first one they can get away with, like, it's fucking new, and it's a great movie. But like the second one, they're like, all right, now we have to
now it's gotta
give them
be
a
a
real
movie.
movie because they're not going to give a fuck. They're like,
Yeah.
we've seen the apes already. Like, what next? So then they had to escalate it.
And it's a ballsy fucking movie because Dawn of the Planet of the Apes opens with like 30 minutes of only apes on screen. And they're talking, it's like a foreign film.
Dawn?
Yeah.
The one with
Franco's Rise.
so what's
Dawn
Dawn?
is the second one.
Is the second one?
Yeah.
Oh, when they've now taken the woods and we're
Right.
seeing
And
their
so
way
we're-
of life.
We're
and
living
stuff
in their
like that.
world.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
subtitled.
Yeah.
So it's like you're 30 minutes into a foreign film before your first human shows up, which is a ballsy fucking move
Yeah.
for a summer sequel.
And pricey. Because it's a lot of fucking CG.
Yeah. But this movie, like, while good and while it has an emotional resolution to it, doesn't, for me, carry the same heft as the second one does. The second one is more tragic.
Yeah.
Because Caesar wanted peace. He wanted a way to live with humans. He wanted a way to coexist. And by the end of the movie, it says there's going to be war because humans won't allow us not to have war.
Right.
It's like, so we have to fight this war. We'll have to win this war. And that tees up War for the Planet of the Apes. But listen, all of these movies together are far better than they have any right to be.
I would, I would agree definitely with the first one, but clearly I don't remember elements of the
Terry
second.
Russell!
But the version of the second that you're talking about sounds fucking dope. So I will say definitely the first picture. Yeah, it is crazy that this movie worked at all, especially on a hardcore fan like me. I'm talking about the first one, not the one that Marc's been reviewing. But it had to pass the fucking taste and sniff test for an old school Planet of the Apes fan, and that first movie did, in a big bad way. Second one, just remember it was a lot of damn stuff. I was like, how many times I got mentioned the word damn? Damn, I said.
But if you haven't seen it in a while, definitely worth a revisit. I watched all of them
I'm
in
gonna.
rapid succession
go up
to prep
to the-
through the third.
When's
And,
it come out?
July 14th. So,
Oh, so like this weekend.
yeah, this week coming up, depending on when you listen to this.
Yeah.
Or it just came out if it ends up dropping on Saturday, which it might. Who knows?
Probably they're not even gonna watch this until it drops anyway.
Yeah,
Right? Like
so-
most people, I noticed like when we dropped our Spider-Man review, it wasn't until like Friday night that all of a sudden the numbers start kicking up because then people are like, I've seen it too. Nobody wants it
Yes.
spoiled.
And I want to know. I want to be able to figure out how I concur or disagree with what you guys think. So yes, go out and see it by all means. Like, it's executed at the highest level of craft.
And this is the guy, Matt Reeves. He's going to
Matt
direct
Reeves, the Batman.
next.
Indeed. So this is a dude who knows from story, knows from character, knows from conflict, and is absolutely willing to go out on a limb to tell you the best story he can.
Same guy that did the pallbearer back in the day, I think, for Mirror Man.
I think, yeah, we talked about that.
We did.
We did.
Crazy.
Deep pull, deep cuts.
There it is. He's a JJ guy.
He's a JJ guy.
FOJJ.
Yeah, he did
Friend of JJ.
Cloverfield.
Yeah, that's
believe.
right. Yeah, Cloverfield's a fucking dope flick. All right, there it is, man. Planet of the Apes. What is it? War for? or
War
of?
for the planet.
War for the Planet of the Apes.
Go do it.
Marc says
Thumbs up.
thumbs up. And I didn't see it, but I'm going thumbs up based on his description. Sometimes, like, you know, the danger of that is sometimes your friend describes a movie and you're like, I fucking can't wait. And then you come back and you're like, I didn't see that movie.
No, you told me a different movie.
Yeah, that movie you described
You
was...
son of a bitch.
But I bet you he's always on point. I'm going to fuck... Now I know what I'm doing tonight.
There you go.
I'm literally going to watch Franco Planet of the Apes. Then I'm going to watch that, the second one, the damn one. Probably fall asleep again because I'm like, are they going to talk about this damn again? I'll watch the rest in the morning. And then
Damn,
I'm going to go
Gina.
see the other one in the theaters, the new one, War for the Planet of the Apes. And then right after that, I'm coming home and I'm watching Charlton Heston.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Because I did that with Rogue One. I saw
nice.
that.
Just coast right in.
Exactly. And if I'm smart, I got it on my phone. So when I leave the theater, while I'm sitting through the credits, hoping that was there a post thing?
No.
You saved me some fucking. You
saved you
saved
some
5 minutes for me. But if I was going to sit there and shit, I could sit there and watch. I could just go right into watching Planet of the Apes.
There you go. See? And maybe the people in the theater will stick around with you and just you'll all sit in the theater
I'm
watching.
sorry, are you watching some other movie in our movie theater? I'm like, is there a law against that? I paid to be here. I'm paying for the space. They're like, this is disruptive. I'm like, not to me. I'll put in headphones and stuff.
Yeah, nobody else is here. It's fine.
I'm not complaining that you're showing a movie while I'm sitting here.
I paid my money.
Renting space. All right, man. I'm fucking down. I'm going
Sweet.
to see that fucking picture.
Yeah, do it all before we go to Comic-Con.
Smart. Comic-Con coming up, folks. Tickets left, maybe not by now, but hey, why not? csmod.com. Fat Man on Batman. We're doing it
live.
We're going to do it live, not dead, God willing.
Oh.
And although, who could predict the future? But if we can do it dead, they better shoot it, because that'd be amazing.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, look at these two corpses go.
Money in perpetuity.
They should be in the ground, but they're still fucking willing to talk about movies.
Although it's the same news stories from the week that they died.
Oh my God, that's like a Twilight Zone episode right there. Like I sent chills up my spine.
40 years from now, Wonder Woman 2 could be set during the Cold War.
I feel like these poor dead sons of bitches don't know that it was about the Cold War. They don't have to speculate. It was, and it was good.
They were wrong. It's about the color wars. Battle for the network stars.
That's coming back.
It is back.
It's happening?
Yeah. It's like that in the Gong Show.
Does it go across networks or no? Just within one network?
I think it's within one network. Because
in the old days,
yeah,
it went across networks.
And they wore like different colored shorts. Like ABC wore like
Yes.
red and CBS wore blue.
And also, could you imagine if they were like, Battle of the Network Stars 2017. So like you had a Netflix and a Hulu and a fucking ABC and NBC Disney Channel,
Comedy
ESPN,
Central, Sci-Fi,
cord cutters. That's what they'd have to look out for.
Right.
Remember Black Sunday? They looked out for terrorists with the blimp. These
Cord
cats
cutters.
would be looking out for cord cutters.
They'd be like the bad kids, just sitting by the wall, just smoking. Just
How are we supposed to battle other network stars if you're going to keep cutting a fucking cord? They're like, buy app channels, OTT, you piece of shit. The future's here.
CBS All Access, bitches.
It's a free commercial.
Just rallying off networks.
We enjoy
Fucking Kev,
ourselves.
just-
Hopefully
just
you
say
enjoy
network
this,
name.
but we're fucking having a blast. I like
So yeah,
having
come
it.
see us at Comic-Con so we can talk about networks.
Just make some obscure inside network jokes and shit that only like low-level people working at the network would even find mildly amusing.
Yeah, it's like, huh,
I
this
guess
Spike
that
TV
would be
team,
kind of
sure.
funny. Don't pitch it. Ha And they're like, wow, that's even funnier than what we said. There's that chance to see us, and then the Fundy Fest, which is in Canada in St.
Yes,
John's
in the end of August.
at the end of August. Man, go to tickets. You want tickets? Go to tickets at csmod.com.
Yes, come out and see us. Come
There
out,
it is,
come Out
man.
and be us.
He saw War for the Planet of the Apes,
You should too.
and I'm gonna. Fat Man on Batman. I'm Kevin Smith.
I am Marc Bernardin.
Come back next week.
We've done good work here.
We'll talk about, I think we've done strong work here.
Yeah.
Peace, love, unity, and having fun.
What?
For Fat Man on Batman, I've been Kevin Smith.
And I've been Marc Bernardin.
Tune in next time. Same bat time. Same fat channel. Shit, bat. I don't know that.
Ooh, do that.
I know. Fucking, I'm going to get sued by Warner Brothers. Smodcast.com or
YouTube.com/Kevin Smith.